For 9 long years, the wife dedicated herself tirelessly to the care of her ailing husband. One day, arriving home earlier than usual, she was surprised to hear a conversation between him and the neighbor. While Sophia adjusted the blankets around Andre, he slowly settled into the sofa where he spent most of his days. Multiple sclerosis had robbed him of his ability to walk, rendering him dependent on crutches and Sophia's care. Despite his weak smile and grateful voice, there was a shadow of insincerity in his words. As Sophia prepared something in the kitchen, she reflected on the 9 years of dedication, observing how he became more dependent each day. The weight of their reality hung in the air, mingled with the aroma of the herbs she was cutting. Back on the sofa, Andre struggled to find comfort in his weakened body, while Sophia did her best to care for him, even though his gratitude seemed hollow. Returning with a colorful plate, Sophia encouraged Andre to eat, blending her professional care with personal concern in an effort to lighten the heavy routine. She brought up lighter memories, asking if he still remembered the days they danced together in the living room. Andre tried to smile, but those memories seemed distant, almost from another life. "Yes, I remember," he replied, although his eyes could not hide his true emotions. Their dialogues were a summary of their daily routine, a mix of care and memories attempting to fill the void left by the illness. As Sophia held his hand, her mind wandered between the present and the past, recalling everything they had faced together. "Let's keep fighting, all right?" she said, more to herself than to him, seeking strength to continue. Observing Andre's face lit by the soft morning light, Sophia missed the emotion they used to share. Despite Andre's seemingly empty responses, Sophia remained dedicated to his well-being, nurturing the hope that there was still more for them beyond the present struggle. As she left for another day of work, leaving him with words of care, Andre's expression changed quickly. He went to a hidden safe where he found the money Sophia had saved for emergencies. Counting the money with a sly smile, Andre quickly headed to a clandestine nightclub, indulging in carefree pleasures. Hours later, upon returning home, he feigned weakness as Sophia arrived exhausted. At that moment, Camila, the elderly neighbor, interrupted the conversation, bringing a plate of homemade cake as a gesture of kindness. Sophia, with her usual sweetness, asked about Andre while hiding her exhaustion behind a forced smile. Hearing the conversation, Andre appeared brusque and worried about Camila's visit, more out of fear of revealing a secret than concern for his health. Later, after serving Andre dinner, Sophia felt overwhelmed, not only physically but also emotionally, questioning the minimal progress in her husband's health after 9 years of dedication. This questioning led her to investigate Andre's medications and the safe where they kept the emergency money, finding it empty. Her confusion and concern were shared with Andre, whose evasive response did not reassure her. Disturbed by Andre's health condition and the disappearance of the money, Sophia delved deeper into the investigation of his medications. Upon discovering an inconsistency between the medication and Andre's illness, Sophia confronted him with determination. Andre, however, diverted her suspicions with an evasive explanation. Though not completely convinced, Sophia temporarily set the matter aside, but the doubt continued to haunt her. Meanwhile, Andre realized how close he was to being discovered and vowed to be more careful in the future. Determined to perfect his forgery, Andre spent a considerable amount of time practicing the signature of a famous doctor for his fraudulent prescriptions. At the hospital, Sophia wrestled with the conflicting discoveries about Andre's medications. During a break, she shared her concerns with Dr. Matthias, who listened attentively to her suspicions. Despite Sophia's reluctance to believe that Andre could be lying, the idea began to gain traction in her mind. Observing Andre leaving the house unaided, Camila, the neighbor, felt compelled to confront him. Back at home, Andre was confronted by Camila, and his facade was threatened by her determination to uncover the truth. Realizing Camila's hesitation, Andre subtly threatened her, trying to discredit her perception and dissuade her from telling Sophia about her suspicions. Using a mix of manipulation and veiled threats, he managed to plant doubts in Camila's mind, making her question her own sanity and the impact her words might have on her reputation. When Sophia arrived home and sensed the tension between Andre and Camila, she was quickly reassured by an invented apology from Andre, who was keen to hide the truth behind their conversation. Aware of Camila's penetrating gaze, Andre used her presence to dissuade further investigation, maintaining a facade of courtesy and normality. Sophia, noticing the tension, decided not to press the issue, attributing Camila's strange behavior to concern for Andre's health. Meanwhile, Camila returned home, contemplating how to reveal the truth without risking her own credibility. Determined to help Sophia, she promised herself to find a way to expose Andre. Andre, aware of the consequences of being discovered, plotted to silence Camila. When Sophia confronted him again about the medications, he presented a false prescription with an impeccable signature. His evasive response to her questions only heightened Sophia's suspicions, leading her to investigate further. Later, when she called the supposed doctor, Sophia discovered that there was no record of Andre as a patient. Meanwhile, Camila, resolute in her mission to reveal the truth, confronted Andre at his house. Facing his superficial courtesy with silent determination, she said, "Oh, I thought I'd bring a bit of joy to your day with this homemade cake. I imagined we could share it as good neighbors," with a touch of irony in her voice and her eyes clearly revealing her intentions. At that moment, Sophia appeared, radiating joy at seeing Camila. "What a wonderful surprise. Please, come in. Let's have coffee together," she invited, genuinely happy with the unexpected visit. Though reluctant, Andre stepped aside to let Camila in, still using his crutches. They sat at the kitchen table, where Sophia served coffee and cut Camila's cake. The inviting aroma of the cake filled the room as they settled into an uneasy but polite conversation. The aroma of the freshly brewed coffee mingled with the scent of the cake, creating a warm atmosphere that starkly contrasted with the tension in the air. As they conversed, Camila's comments took on a deeper meaning that did not escape Sophia's keen perception. "You know, Sophia, it's fascinating to observe the true essence of people. Sometimes, reality is sweeter than any dessert," Camila remarked, casting a significant glance at Andre. Andre swallowed hard, his discomfort evident. Perceiving the tension, Sophia stood up under the pretext of going to the bathroom, but remained discreetly close enough to catch the conversation in the kitchen without being noticed. It was then that she heard Andre whispering threats to Camila. "It would be wise to watch your words, Camila. Don't cross your limits. It would be a shame if something unpleasant were to happen because of your insinuations." When Sophia returned, she pretended not to have heard anything, maintaining a neutral expression. Time passed as the three of them shifted topics. Eventually, Camila decided to leave, and Sophia accompanied her to the door, gesturing for Andre to wait inside the house. Once outside, Camila finally allowed her tears to flow. Worried, Sophia asked what was happening. With a trembling sigh, Camila revealed the whole truth. "Sophia, it's hard to say this, but Andre is not sick. I don't know if he ever was. I saw him walking normally when you weren't around. He's deceiving you." Sophia listened, stunned and incredulous, as Camila detailed everything from the threats to Andre's suspicious behaviors. Camila's revelations, though shocking, brought a profound sense of betrayal that overwhelmed Sophia, manifesting in tears as she embraced Camila, grateful for her friend's courage in revealing the truth. Sophia confronted Andre in the living room. The tension following the revelations was palpable. Aware of the urgency to make decisions, she felt pressed by time and space. "Andre, I have work matters to attend to," she said, struggling to keep her voice steady. Sensing the gravity of Sophia's suspicions, Andre was overcome with anxiety. "You need to leave now? You can't resolve this at home. I've noticed your frequent outings, and I'm not comfortable with you going out alone at night," he responded, frustrated and desperate. Overwhelmed by emotions and suspicions, Sophia replied with determination. I understand. I need to go. It's crucial. Her decision was firm. Realizing that insisting would only complicate matters, Andre reluctantly agreed. As she drove, Sophia felt the need for an external opinion and dialed Dr. Matthias' number. "Can we meet now? I need to talk," she said. Soon after, they met at a discreet cafe where Sophia shared the entire story. Matthias listened attentively, his concern evident. "This is serious. If Andre is faking it, it's a great betrayal and manipulation," he responded, indignation in his voice. Meanwhile, at home, Andre was trying to find a solution, knowing that Sophia's trust was at stake. "There must be a way to resolve this," he murmured, formulating a plan. He knew he needed to act intelligently. "I must find a smart strategy," he thought, focused on preserving his position and strengthening his bond with Sophia. After deep reflection, Andre decided to confront the situation directly rather than evade it, relying on his ability to manipulate and rebuild Sophia's trust while keeping his lies intact. Determined to regain her trust, Andre rummaged through the closet, searching for a hidden metal box where he kept the medications he should have been taking all these years. The bottles were sealed, the pills intact, a series of falsehoods cleverly hidden from Sophia. With a heavy sigh, Andre took the bottles, determined to adopt a new strategy in his elaborate deception. Hours later, while lying on the sofa feigning his recovery routine, he was caught off guard by Sophia, who had returned after her conversation with Matthias. She noticed as he unintentionally ingested several more pills than prescribed. "Andre, you know you shouldn't overdo it with the medication. This could be dangerous," Sophia reprimanded, her feigned concern evident in her voice. Watching him closely, she wondered if he understood the potential danger of taking too many pills. Although his actions seemed more desperate than calculated, Andre offered a smile meant to be reassuring. "I'm just trying to recover faster, dear. You understand how complicated it is to depend on others all the time," he expressed, trying to evoke empathy. However, Sophia was not entirely persuaded by his act. She remained silent for the rest of the night, observing him closely but avoiding direct confrontation. As she lay in bed next to Andre, unable to sleep, Sophia's thoughts revolved around Dr. Matthias' words from earlier that evening. "We need concrete evidence, Sophia, something irrefutable to expose Andre's lies." She knew that confronting him without solid proof could give him the opportunity to twist the situation again. Determined, Sophia began to devise a strategy. She planned to go to work the next day, a Monday, but instead would stay nearby, discreetly observing to uncover how Andre spent his days when he thought he was alone. "If he's deceiving me about his condition, I'll discover the truth and then confront him with the evidence," Sophia resolved, determined to unravel the truth amid the lies. At dawn, instead of going to work, she found a hidden spot to observe discreetly. When Andre left through the back door, his agility contradicted his supposed disability, striking Sophia like a stab of betrayal. Quickly, she began taking photographs, trembling with a mix of emotion and disbelief. Andre headed to a local bar, and Sophia captured every moment of that painful reality. Years of lies, she thought, as tears streamed down her face. Unable to return home, she went to Camila's house for support. Showing the photos, the pain and betrayal Sophia felt were evident to Camila. Camila comforted Sophia in her home, promising support through the difficult journey ahead. They spent hours together, sharing tea and tissues, strengthening Sophia's determination for the upcoming confrontation. Meanwhile, unaware of the revelations, Andre returned home at night, thinking his day of freedom had gone unnoticed. Sophia waited a few more minutes before leaving Camila's residence and heading back home, ready to confront the lies head-on. Entering the living room, she saw Andre taking additional doses of medication, confident he was solidifying his fabricated narrative. However, Sophia knew the truth and discreetly sent the evidence to Dr. Matthias. Upon receiving confirmation that her plan was in motion, she realized Andre had overheard her conversation. Andre's outburst only reinforced the gravity of the situation. Sophia felt a growing fear as Andre advanced towards her, gripping her arm firmly. With determination, she broke free and rushed to the door, grabbing the keys as she passed. Outside, she encountered Camila, whose worried face confirmed her fears. "I heard the shouting," Camila said. "Ready to help?" With the door locked behind them, they waited for the police, hearts pounding in the tense silence. Sophia clutched the keys tightly, a symbol of her determination to leave behind a painful past. With Camila by her side and the police on their way, she felt that she was finally putting an end to the cycle of lies and manipulation. Inside the house, Andre, overwhelmed by anger and desperation, swallowed pills in a distorted attempt to change the situation. "I'll prove that I need these medicines," he murmured, his vision blurring. The door opened to reveal a chaotic scene. Andre unconscious on the floor, surrounded by empty medication bottles. The police urgently called for an ambulance, and Andre was rushed to the hospital. After a series of examinations, it was discovered that the excessive intake of medication had caused temporary paralysis in his legs. Dr. Matthias, armed with all the evidence, detailed to the police that Andre had been faking his illness for years. The irony was not lost on Matthias. Someone who had feigned illness was now facing genuine paralysis. As the accusations echoed, Andre attempted to justify himself, but his words faltered, unable to undo the weight of his actions. The police, proceeding cautiously, handcuffed him and announced his arrest. Andre was led away in shame, the gravity of his deeds finally dawning on him. Meanwhile, Dr. Matthias offered Sophia some encouraging news. As she processed the recent events, the atmosphere in the courtroom was tense. Andre, visibly dejected, faced the accusations alongside a hastily appointed lawyer. Sophia, accompanied by Camila and Dr. Matthias, awaited the start of the hearing anxiously. The judge announced the beginning of the proceedings, and Dr. Matthias presented the evidence incisively, highlighting photos of Andre outside the house and medical reports that revealed his deceit. The tension peaked in the courtroom as the truths came to light. Camila shared her experience, revealing Andre's threats when she voiced her suspicions. With a voice laden with pain, Sophia prepared to face the most challenging moment of her life. She denounced the betrayal that had permeated her marriage, shattering her trust. Andre tried to defend himself, but his words rang hollow against the overwhelming evidence. The judge delivered the verdict, condemning Andre for fraud and handing down his sentence. Sophia left the courtroom with a heavy heart, but also with a glimmer of relief. Months passed, and each person went their separate ways. Andre, now facing the consequences of his actions, grappled with the harsh reality of his imprisonment. Meanwhile, Sophia and Camila found solace in their mutual friendship, facing the changes life had brought them together. Conversing in a cafe, they shared reflections on the transformative winds that had shaped their lives. Dr. Matthias joined them briefly, offering his support and confirming that justice was being served. As the sun set outside, Sophia looked toward the future with hope, recognizing the power of truth and resilience. Supported by Camila's comforting presence and the promise of a better tomorrow, she felt ready for whatever came next.